Welcome, everybody, to Michael Antonio Live tonight. And I wanted to talk about Candace Owens. If you don't know her, she is a conservative commentator, and she defends conservatism with a black perspective. Now, she has been expelled by the black community, or I should say, let me correct that. I should say that she has been expelled by the leftist black community, those who don't even understand what is correct, what is right. These people have been brainwashed for years by leftism, by the Democrat Party, who has ruined them, has completely destroyed them. And this day, today, in this world, we see the product of that. We see people that are, in their 40s, that as children were indoctrinated to believe that Democrats cared about them and that they were the good guys. And now in their 40s and 50s, some of these people, they are spewing nonsense that they think is actually wonderful. It's actually what is right. This is what they're thinking. And one of those people, I hate to say it, even though I like his movies and his celebrity, he's seems like a good guy, but he has been indoctrinated into a theory that is counterproductive. We'll talk about him later, and if you stick around, we're going to show him a little bit what he said on Twitter, and you know who he is, but we'll talk about him in a little bit. But first, let's get to Candace Owens. Candace Owens is somebody who, she's a fire starter, man. I'm going to tell you, I love her style, her spunk. She's got a lot of spunk. If you don't follow her on Twitter and on her other social media, you really need to do that, because she is a fierce defender of conservative values, and she sets the black community straight on what's what. I'm going to tell you right now. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to play a little bit of something she was saying. She's actually trending on Twitter because she's being attacked by the black community for what she said about George Floyd. Now, if you can read this here, she's saying George Floyd is neither a martyr or a hero. Okay. But she does say here, I hope his family gets justice. She does believe that these cops that killed him did commit murder. It was a terrible thing they did. And, he deserves justice. His family deserves to get much deserved justice. I mean, it's clear as day. She's not attacking the situation or saying that these people didn't do something wrong. Of course they did something wrong. Everyone knows that, and everybody believes this. But so what else is going on here? There's a subterfuge here. You've got the black community being tricked by the left wing, trying to tell them that this is systemic racism. It's just, this whole world is a tinderbox for the destruction of the black community. And it's just not true. It's not true. So let's hear from Candace a little bit. I'm going to play a little of this for you. I hope you like it.
About him being on the right track, okay? You people that are on the right track do not do meth and fentanyl and drop baggies of drugs onto the ground. Now, again, this is completely separate from whether or not this cop had any right to restrict him in the way that he did on his neck. I don't believe he did, okay? But the idea that you're now going to tell me that my blackness or my black card is now associated to how hard I want to defend this person, a career criminal, right? And make him out to be the modern day Malcolm X, you've lost your mind. You really lost your mind. I'm tired of playing these games with Black America. I'm tired of us being considered, not smart, uneducated. Oh, I actually saw comments on a random website writing about the article. Oh, now wait for Black people to start rioting because Black people got to be Black people. I'm reading these comments and realizing that these people are writing in the comfort of anonymity. And they're writing that their perception of Black Americans are people that have very little facts and riot and are angry and have no idea about what's actually going on, or basically understanding that the whole concept of racialized police brutality is a myth. Okay? All you have to do is sit down and do basic mathematics to discover that the entire narrative that we have been sold is a lie. Okay? It's a lie. There is no racially targeted police brutality against Black Americans. In fact, if you are a white American and you commit a violent crime, you have a 25% higher chance of suffering a police fatality than Black people. Now, you might come across some people that are really bad at math, and they'll say, Candace, I know that only 9 Black people were killed last year unarmed by police officers, and 19 white people were killed unarmed by police officers. But Black Americans are only 13% of the population, and white Americans are 60% of the population. So that's why. No, that's not how math works. You don't look at the numbers according to how many Black people there are in America and how many white people there are in America, because not all white people commit crimes and not all Black people commit crimes. The numbers you look at is how many police encounters Black people had versus how many police encounters white Americans had. And when you look at those numbers, you will realize that the only thing we're doing disproportionately in this country is committing crimes. Take 2018, for example, right? 13% of the population, Black Americans, accounted for 40% of all of the murders and something like 50% of all violent offenses in the country. That's not normal. We are having more encounters with police, and despite having more encounters with police, white Americans are the ones that are being killed at a higher rate, okay? And Hispanic men at a higher rate. When you take a subset and you look over 100,000 encounters with police and with white Americans versus Black Americans, you will discover that Black Americans have less of a chance of having a fatal incident with police officers. Those are the facts. And I really don't care how those facts make you feel. I know it's so easy today being a Black person to take the victim narrative, to believe that we're being brutalized by police officers, to believe that these 9 instances of police brutality that happen per annum are a really big deal, but we should shut up about the thousands of Black Americans that are being killed by other Black Americans, because it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter when we kill ourselves. It doesn't matter when we're on drugs. It doesn't matter when we're high. We want the police officers to hold our hands. And if, God forbid, something goes wrong in the midst of a police arrest, we want to riot and we want to burn down our own neighborhoods, because that makes so much sense. And we'll ally ourselves with the far left crazy Antifa thugs who know exactly what they're doing, who know exactly who know exactly which group of Americans will be the most responsive and the most emotional. They get a couple of big celebrities to tell you Black Lives Matter, and put up a symbol while they're marching with you because they all think we're stupid. That's the truth. The left thinks we're dumb, okay? And we have to stop proving them right. We have to stop taking the bait. We have to stop accepting a foolish election time narrative that is going to disappear on November 3rd. It's going to be like it never happened. The gap between Philando Castile, who, by the way, was a real victim, who I use my platform to speak out about, right? The gap between Philando Castile and George Floyd is exactly 4 years. What do you think, guys? What do you think this is really about?
So just wanted to give you a little snapshot of Candace Owens. As you can see, she's very articulate and she makes a lot of great points. These are things that the Black community, they like to ignore this because they don't understand that, the truth here should matter more than what I would call their feelings. Yes, I understand that feelings count. There is a certain value to feeling a certain way. You don't want to keep, pounding on somebody who has hurt feelings, but you also have to let them know the truth. The truth must be told in love. People must know that the truth is more important, ultimately. And she really does a good job here, I believe, of getting that across. So if you want to see more about her, you definitely have to go onto her Twitter, Candace Owens. As you can see how it's spelled over here, Candace, CANDACEOWENS, Candace Owens. And watch that. She has several other videos where she expounds upon these things. Just amazing to me. I think she does a very fantastic job of taking the pulse of America the way it truly is. Not the way they want you to believe that it is, but the way it truly is. It's just amazing to me. It's amazing to me how these people just follow lockstep with the Democrat Party, with leftism, with all these people. They just follow lockstep. There is no room for argument. Like I was saying yesterday, I was talking about the quarterback Drew Brees from the Saints. He just had an opinion. He said that he did not agree with the people who who kneel down to the flag in the national anthem. He doesn't think it's respectful. That's all he said. That's his opinion. Do you know that they made him apologize? He actually bowed down before them today and apologized for that opinion. Now, let me ask you something. Do you think that's okay to tell somebody that they have to agree with you, or else they're going to be blackballed? Could you imagine what would happen? And it may still happen. Maybe they won't accept his apology, in the end. But could you imagine if he didn't apologize? What's going to happen to him? Maybe his offensive line might not protect him. They might let a few of the linebackers come in and, smack him around a little. I mean, look, I believe it has happened already. Was it a couple of years ago? There was a quarterback for the Raiders, and after he had done something, that they considered controversial, his offensive line decided to take the night off. He got the crap beat out of him. And I'm telling you, it happens. There's something very insidious and nasty about a belief system that will not allow you to express your opinion. And I'm not saying you can't disagree with them. I'm not saying you can't even have the argument. In fact, I invite the argument. I invite people to tell me why they disagree with me. Let's have the argument. But don't blackball me. Don't ruin my life because I have an opinion that doesn't follow after your worldview. Okay? And this is what Candace is trying to say. She's been trying to say these things. That you've got a group of people that are just taking this belief system. Okay? And now all of a sudden, if you have that belief system that we don't, if you try to challenge our belief system, we're going to destroy your life. You're not allowed to have that opinion. Some of these guys, man, some of these players that were his teammates and players around the league, former players, celebrities, I mean, they literally lambasted him. They destroyed him. They posted pictures of him with the president, and because of that, I'm no longer your fan. You're horrible. You're a terrible person. It's disgusting to me. Let me ask you this. Maybe the pictures of maybe Barack Obama hanging around Louis Farrakhan there, Mr. Farrakhan, the racist anti-Semite, who said very terrible things about white people, about Jews. Let me ask you something. Would these people also condemn Barack Obama for that? Or is that okay because he's Barack Obama? You see, they're practicing idolatry, and I have to say this. If you are bowing down before any man, you're practicing idolatry. You're making man more powerful than God himself. You only bow to one entity, and that is God. Let me say it again. You only bow to one entity, and that is God himself. If you do otherwise, anything else, I don't care if it's a white man or a black woman or a white woman, whoever it is, you do not bow before a man. So if the black community is telling you now to bow before them, you shall not do it, or you're committing idolatry in the sight of God. That's a horrible thing. Believe me, you don't want to do that. That's a bad idea, kids. Don't do it. So it's amazing. So I definitely want you to take a look at Candace Owens and her Twitter. She is a light. She is a beacon of hope in the black community, teaching people in that community that you don't need to be on the Democrat plantation. You can escape from that slavery. It is slavery. It's modern day slavery. I know that Joe Biden mentioned that, I think, who was it? I think he said this about Mitt Romney, was it, when he was running? Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But what did Joe Biden say? He told the black community, they want to keep you all in chains. Remember, they want to keep you all in chains. No, the Democrats want to keep you in chains because you're not allowed to have your own opinion. You can't challenge them anytime. Anytime you say something that goes against what they believe in, they'll blackball you, man. They will destroy your life, man. You don't have a chance once you do that. And that's what's happening right now. It's happening in the black community. This is what they do to you. And it's all sponsored by the Democrat Party. It is. It's sponsored by the Democrats. So what happens if they win? What happens if the black community gets what they want right now, like new laws? And of course the Democrats tell them, vote for us. We're going to get you these things. The Republicans won't do this for you. So let's say you vote for Democrats in November. Do you think they're going to fix your problems? Do you think they're going to? Do you know? Maybe many of you don't know this because maybe some of you listening are very young, in your 20s and 30s, and you didn't know the history. But did you know that before 1994, the Democrats were in power in Congress for more than 60 years? I want you to hear me again. For more than 60 years, the Democrats were in power in Congress. That's a fact. You can look that up, but that's a fact, okay? Now, did they fix anything? Are we still in the same messed up situation we were in for how long? Even to this day. Okay, so the Republicans took Congress back in 1994, 2 years after Bill Clinton became president. Okay, they took power for a little while. They didn't have power forever, though. Democrats wrestled it back about 10 years later, and that's just the way things go. But the point is, nothing really got fixed. But see, the real problem was not what they said it was. They said it was, the Republicans or the white man is keeping you down. White folks, the good old boys, they're keeping you down. You know what the real problem was? The real problem was the inner cities are being run and have continued to be run by Democrats for decades. Many decades. That was the problem. That's where it all came from. Now, enter Trump in 2016. What does he do? He immediately injects life into the inner cities and into the black community. Black unemployment drops. You have more black people working now and actually providing for their families. And you have prosperity coming to the black community for the first time in a long time. Well, again, even though those cities were run by Democrats, it could have been a lot better if it wasn't. But now you have a pandemic comes in, creates another problem. And again, you can't lay it out on Trump. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. You know, a pandemic that was not caused by Trump. Trump did the best he could to prevent it. I don't want to hear any more arguments to the contrary because anything else is a lie. That's a lie. We know the truth, guys. You're not going to be able to lie to get out of this one. The fact of the matter is, the pandemic was caused by China. Sorry, I got to say it. It was caused by China. So now you got this pandemic. And of course, our leaders, our governors, and our leaders of mayors of cities decided to lock us down for more than 2 months. The economy goes into the crapper. Well, what do you expect? You're going to have an economy that goes into the crapper. Nothing to do with Trump. Trump did not just destroy our economy. He built it up to the greatest that it ever was in the history of America. Let me say it again. To the greatest that it ever was in the history of America, and that's a fact. Okay? So, remember something. Now you have this problem now. This poor man is killed by cops, bad cops, who are now in custody, and justice will come. Amen. Justice will come. That's awesome, because he was falsely killed. He should not have been killed. He doesn't deserve to have died through this. I don't care if he was a career criminal or he had drugs in his system. He didn't deserve this. But it's not the white man's fault. It's not Donald Trump's fault. It's not. It's the fault of that police department and the government there that did not remove this cop that killed him, because he had had complaints for several years, many different complaints, and they didn't deal with it properly. They could have removed this problem years ago and they didn't do it. That's where the fault lies. End of story. I'm done arguing about this. It's baloney. End of story. Okay? Anyone that says that it is the fault of Donald Trump or anybody that that's involved in the Republican Party is a liar. Okay? This is what you are.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
That is exactly what you are. Okay? So I just wanted to say that, that this is important. Candace Owens is a very, very important warrior in this fight for truth. For truth. I am not against anyone. I am for everyone. I'm for the black community. I am for every community that wants truth. I'm for every American. But if you're lying, or if you're caught up in the lie, I am going to correct you. I'm just going to do it. That's the way it is, and that's the way it will always be. We will be right back. Hey guys, are you still shopping at those same big online stores? Well, I say no more. It's time for you to go over to the Michaelantonio shop and pick up some great gear at incredible prices. And remember something, I really care. Do you think Jeff Bezos would take the time to talk to you? I say no way. So don't forget, michaelantonio.biz/shop. You will not regret it. Ciao. Okay, guys. All right, I probably spent a little bit too much time on Candace, but I got to tell you something. She is amazing. Here's another one. She does these little interviews with different community leaders and great conservative thinkers. Really fantastic. She has actually talked to a few leftists, too. She's interviewed them nicely. It was not bad. She did it to get insight. That's what we need to do, is get insight. But she has one here talking to Larry Elder. He's another genius, so you've got to listen to Larry Elder. He has a lot of insight as well. These are people that are very intelligent and very articulate. They know how to tell the story the way it needs to be told. Okay, it's very critical. But now let's get to somebody who I think is misguided. And look, I got to tell you, I don't try to prejudge somebody, or I don't like to cut people off just because they have a differing opinion than me, even if I think they're deceived. All right, but you notice that the left wing doesn't do that. In other words, I still watch this person's videos and their movies and whatever. I mean, I'm not going to cut them off completely, but I'm going to tell them when they're wrong. So let's get to him. This gentleman is right here, folks. Mr. Dwayne Johnson. You know who it is. The Rock. You like The Rock? I like The Rock too. I really do. But let's just show you a little clip of something he put on here today, early this afternoon. And he's just asking a simple question. And you know what? Even though I know where he's going, the direction he's going in with this, he's probably misguided on this, and he's looking for the wrong leader. But he's going to say something here that deserves an answer. I do actually agree with him. I'll talk about it when I get done with this, but let's just listen to this real quick.
Where are you? Where is our leader? Where are you? Where is our leader at this time? At this time when our country is down on its knees, begging, pleading, hurt, angry, frustrated, in pain, begging and pleading with its arms out, just wanting to be heard, begging and pleading and praying for change. Where are you? Where is our compassionate leader who's going to step up to our country, who's down on its knees and extend a hand and say, you stand up. Stand up with me. Stand up with me, because I got you. I got you.
Okay. Well, first of all, he's right. There is no leader right now in the black community. Now, let me qualify what I'm saying here. I believe we do have a leader who cares about the black community, and his name is Donald Trump. I really believe that Donald Trump not only cares, but I think it's hurting his heart right now to see what's going on in this country, not only with everyone, but with the black community specifically. I think he doesn't want this. He doesn't want this kind of pain. So Dwayne Johnson, I think he gets it wrong in the sense that he thinks that Donald Trump is not an answer for them. He's not there to help. He's absolutely wrong if that's what he thinks. Now, hey, Dwayne Johnson is welcome to correct me on this. He's welcome to tell me, no, I actually do think Donald Trump is one of the answers. Well, let me guess. He probably doesn't believe that, so I'm not going to hear that from him. But let me say what I think is correct. Even though Donald Trump is one of the answers that we need for the black community, I don't think, because of the indoctrination of the black community, how much they've been taught that Republicans don't really care about them, conservatives are just not on their side in any way, shape, or form, I think you're not going to get a lot of attention from the black community by white people and by conservatives. It's just not going to happen. I don't think you're going to get that. And I think it might be a little easier to get it from someone like Candace Owens because she's a black person in the conservative circles. The problem is that even Candace Owens is not getting the attention from the black community, or at least the positive attention. She's getting a lot of negative attention. What's happening is it's because they've also been brainwashed. I mean, let me tell you, the leftist leadership, Democrats, have done a fantastic job in an evil way. It's evil, but they've done a fantastic job of coming up with every angle, every answer to everything. Like, for instance, if you're a black person who is conservative and tries to tell them, look, guys, you're going the wrong way here. You're going the wrong way. What are you doing? What are you doing? They immediately call you an Uncle Tom, like you're a traitor to your people. So in other words, they turn them into a traitor instead of saying, let's listen at least to what they have to say. Let's see if it makes any sense. Maybe from a pragmatic standpoint, they actually make some sense here. Let's look at what is right. They don't want to look at what is right because they've been indoctrinated to believe that anyone that comes from conservative circles is going to steer them wrong because their intentions are bad. I don't get that. I don't understand why Candace Owens would have bad intentions for anyone in the black community. I just don't see that. I see her having a belief system, whether you agree with her or not. She has a belief system, a worldview that she feels very strongly about, and she thinks it's the best way. And she happens to be black. So why not give her a try? Just like Donald Trump said in his, original campaign, what did he say to the black community? What do you have to lose? Give me a try. Well, that's what Candace Owens is saying to her own community. Give this a try. Give my ideas a try. Just, be objective. Stop listening to the leftist leadership for just one moment. Even if you take 24 hours to just sit down and say, I'm going to just blank out everything and just listen to Candace. I'm not even going to pay attention to where she comes from. I'm just going to listen to what she's saying and do the research. And you know what? You might have your eyes opened. So like I'm saying, I'm going to say to Dwayne Johnson, Dwayne Johnson is right. Dwayne, you are correct. There is no leader. There is no black leader right now who is able to tell the truth, who is able to be honest with themselves and honest with the black community. They can't honestly say what needs to be said. And what needs to be said? Well, what needs to be said is, yes, there is racism in America. No, there is not systemic racism. Not like it was many years ago. However, yeah, there's racism, but there's racism in the black community, in the white community, in the Hispanic community, in every community. In the female community, believe it or not, there is bigotry against men. So, bigotry can be found in every corner, but it's not all over everything. It's not pervasive. You can pretty much tell that racist behavior, racist thought, racist ideas are absolutely eschew. They're absolutely condemned by 99.999% of everyone alive. That's a fact. So what I would say to Dwayne Johnson is, where is your leader? Yeah, where is a leader who is going to be honest? I think we have many of them. I think I just mentioned her. She's one of them. She may be the biggest. Who knows? But Candace Owens, Dwayne, are you listening, Dwayne? In fact, I'm going to tell Dwayne Johnson right now. You want me to post that for him right now? Okay, I'm going to post that right now. I did write to him earlier, Dwayne, you are deceived. Get away from leftism and Democrat propaganda. So I'm right about that. But I'm going to type that right now to Mr. Dwayne Johnson. I'm going to say, here it is. Ha ha ha. Look at this. Here is your leader. Let me guess. I'm going to just lay it on him. Here we go. Ready? Ha ha ha. Yes. Here is your leader. Candace Owens. Dwayne. Come on now. I want you to be intellectually honest, Mr. Dwayne Johnson. Look, I respect you, Dwayne. I do. I respect you. But you know what? You gotta give someone like Candace a chance. You gotta give the leaders from the conservative wing here. You got to give black leaders in the conservative wing an opportunity to state their case, and without shutting them up. I just saw a poster earlier today. It really angered me. In fact, I think I should jump over there right now. I'm going to jump over to my Facebook here, and I got to show you something it's really disturbing. It's highly disturbing. I got to show you this. Oh, they got rid of it, actually. Look at this. They got rid of it because they couldn't handle it. I'm going to have to tell you what it is. Wow, look at that, man. They didn't like the argument. I was trying to make an argument to them to set them straight and to hear my voice. They cut off my voice. Again, here we go. But let me tell you what it was. It's a picture that's very disturbing because it is not something that we should be doing. It was a picture of MLK. Okay, it was done by an artist in the modern era here. MLK, he had his hand up against the mouth of Donald Trump, telling him to shut up, and then he had like he had like his finger against his mouth saying shh, telling Donald Trump to shut up. That is not what we need right now. That's not what we need, Mr. Dwayne Johnson, or anybody else from the black community. We don't need to tell people, oh, you need to listen now and shut up. No, what you need is, we need all voices to be heard, and we need to have the discussion, the conversation. We need all voices to be heard. Let me say it again. Let's get everybody in a room, a figurative room, of course. Let's get everybody in the room, and let's have the conversation. Let all things be on the table. Let it all be said. And then we can all sort it out. We can all say, well, we don't like this, we like this. We don't like this, we like this. What has worked in the past? What hasn't worked? What haven't we tried yet? Let's try this. You see, that's the problem. The black community has been fooled into believing, they've been fooled into believing that, nope, we got to shut up conservative thought. We got to shut the whites up. Shut your mouth, Mr. White Man. You don't get to say this. Somebody told me the other day, I was very angered by it because I think it's an insult when they say, well, are you black? You're not black, so you don't know what they feel, so you don't get to talk. That's baloney. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. I don't want to hear that. And you know what? I'm not going to shut a black person up if they say something, and I'm not going to tell them, well, are you white? You don't know what it's like to be white, so shut up. How racist is that? That's one of the most racist things you can ever say. You have to remember something, Dwayne Johnson and everybody else in the black community. There was one white man. I can mention this white man. In fact, I'll show you him right now. Let me show you. Let me show you one white man that was very instrumental in helping the black community. Here we go. There was one white man that saved you many years ago. You would not be where you are today, Dwayne Johnson, or anyone in the black community would not be anywhere in this country, in America, without this man. Okay? That is correct. Here he is. Yes, yes, yes. Let's say hello to Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Yes, look at this man. Without Abraham Lincoln, where would the black community be today? I really think that they really need to think about what they are, saying. Remember, Abraham Lincoln, did he know what slaves felt like? Did he know what slaves felt like, Dwayne? Barack? Do you think he knew what slaves felt? No, he wasn't black. But without him, slavery does not end. For perhaps how long? I don't know. Maybe slavery would still be around today if Abraham Lincoln didn't do what he did, didn't take a stand. So, let's not discount Donald Trump so fast. Okay? Because you know what? It doesn't take just a black man or a black woman to save the black community. Remember something. I think it's a good idea. You should listen to Candace Owens. All right? I think you should definitely listen to Candace. She's absolutely a beacon of light in that community. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly recommend her. Her voice should be heard among her sisters and brothers in the black community. Absolutely. However, let's not discount white Americans and others, Hispanic Americans. We all have something to lend. We all have a voice, even if it is with black issues. Even if it involves the black community, there's plenty of white folks who have helped. They've done good things for the black community. So let's ignore them because they're not black? That's the most preposterous thing I've ever heard, guys. I can't even believe that you would even say something like this. Come on, guys. Abe, he's about as white as you can get. And he did so many wonderful things for the black community so that you can enjoy the things you enjoy today. And rightfully so. Amazing. I'm forever grateful to Abraham Lincoln for doing that for you. I'm very grateful. I think it's awesome. I really enjoy that fact. I'm happy for him, happy for you. But when people say to me, well, you're not black, so you don't understand, that is so sad. That's the most sad thing I've ever heard in my life. Guys, get your heads out of your ass. It's ridiculous. We can never get along. We can never solve our problems if you say things like that. It's racist. Let me say it again. Oh, and for you women out there, look, I love you, but don't ever tell me because I'm not a woman that I can't do good things for women and that I don't have ideas that help women. I don't want to hear it. That's baloney. Don't you ever go, well, you're not a woman, so you don't understand. Well, you know what? You always try to stick your nose in a man's business. Well, what if I told you you're not a man, so shut up. Shut your mouth. Is that what you want to hear from me? No. You know what I'll tell you? Let me hear your idea, because it might be good. It might be a good idea. Let me hear it. That doesn't mean I'm going to implement every idea you come up with, because let's face it, that's what brainstorming is all about. We throw ideas together, we talk about them, we throw them up against the wall and see if they stick. Some of them work, some of them do not. But I don't want to hear from somebody ever again, well, you're not this or you're not that, so you can shut up now. That's identity politics, and it's dangerous for society. What if they, again, I'm going to say this again, guys, it's very important to hear this. What if they said that to Abraham Lincoln? Well, you're not black, so you need to shut up. We don't want to hear from you. We don't want any of your suggestions. Maybe he would have just said, yeah, maybe I just won't write that Emancipation Proclamation. Maybe I won't try to free the slaves. They don't want my help. They don't want to hear anything from me. So I'll just shut up now. Well, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, Michaelantonio is not going to shut up because I care too much about people. I love people, and I want the best for all of you. Not just one part of you. Not just white people, not just black people, but for everyone. We all have to live in this world together. We all have to get along. That's what we want, is for people to get along. Even Rodney King said it best. Can't we all just get along? Why is it that I have to question you on this issue? Why is it that we have to struggle with you? Dwayne, why do we have to struggle, Dwayne? Are you going to help us, Dwayne? Are you going to maybe you'll help us find a black leader. I want you to give Candace Owens a call, Dwayne Johnson. Give her a call. She has a lot to lend to the black community. She's amazing. And I'll leave it at that, guys. I want you to listen to Candace Owens, and listen to our other leaders in the black community that really know what they're talking about. Larry Elder. Okay? These are people that are very, very smart. They know what they're talking about, and I love hearing from them. I want to hear what they have to say. Even if they say something I don't agree with, I respect them. I respect what they have to say. So, please, guys, listen. And I'll be right back to close out.
Hey guys, if you want more great content from me, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Come on, what are you waiting for?
And I'm back. So guys, just check her out, Candace Owens, and just remember, we're all in this together. That's the way it should be. I was brought up to be colorblind, to not look at a person who is of a different ethnicity. You know, I was brought up to not look at them as lesser than or different than. No, we're all human beings. We all deserve the same respect. And so if I have an idea to help your community, if you happen to be black, or happen to be Hispanic, or happen to be Asian, or happen to be white, if I have an idea to lend to your community, the least you could do is listen to it. I will respect you as you should respect me. I will not bow down to you. I will not get on my knee for you. I only get on my knee to God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Ghost. Okay, that's it. But I will stand with you. I'll stand with you for what is right. And if someone treats you poorly, if someone discriminates against you, I'll stand with you. I will. But let's find out the truth. Let's not assume that the entire world is racist against you simply because something happened to somebody. Remember, I've been a victim of racism. I've been a victim of sexism. We all have at some point in our lives. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to tell you I love you all, and I wish you all the best, and I will see you soon. Ciao, everybody.
Time for you to go.